All right, let's jump right in. We're about to explore a powerful story that comes to us from a small Anatolian town. But really, it's a story that could happen anywhere. It's all about justice, what a good reputation is worth, and what holds a community together. And it all comes from the Quran's chapter of light, Surah An-Nur, which has some incredible, timeless wisdom for our world today.
It all kicks off with something so small, so simple, but so incredibly destructive. A rumor. Just a few words whispered from one person to another. But those words act like a poison, and they're about to seep into the heart of an entire town. So picture this town. It's the kind of place where everybody knows your name, your family, your story, and at the center of our story is a young woman named Zineb. If you ask anyone about her, they'd tell you the same thing. She is the definition of virtue, a person of impeccable character. But all of that is about to be challenged. What happens is, a couple of young men, probably out of jealousy, start a vicious lie. They whisper that Zainab was seen out at night with someone she shouldn't have been. Total fabrication. But in a small town, a lie like that, it spreads like wildfire. Almost overnight, Zainab becomes a pariah. People literally turn away from her in the street. Her father, a respected shopkeeper, finds his business is suddenly empty. Her poor mother is so overcome with shame she can't even bring herself to leave their home. You see, the lie didn't just hurt Zainab. It was an attack on her whole family, and it cracked the very foundation of trust in their community. So now the town is in a full-blown crisis. You've got an innocent family's life in ruins, you've got accusers hiding in the shadows, and there's just no obvious way to fix it. I mean, how do you even begin to prove something didn't happen? How do you piece a reputation back together once it's been torn to shreds? Right when everything feels completely hopeless, we get our turning point. The town's Hoka, their religious teacher, sees this poison spreading and knows he has to step in. So he calls everyone to the mosque. And this isn't going to be a regular sermon. This is an intervention. From the minbar, the Hoka's voice cuts through the tension. He recites this incredibly powerful verse from Surah An-Nur. And this is the key. He's not just quoting a holy book. He is applying divine law right then and there to solve their crisis. He's reminding every single person in that mosque that an accusation of this magnitude isn't just gossip. It comes with a massive, massive burden of proof. And bam, the effect is instantaneous. The guys who started the rumor, they're in the crowd and they're paralyzed. 4 witnesses? Of course they don't have 4 witnesses. They have nothing but their ugly lie. And in that moment, the entire town gets it. The slander just completely falls apart under the weight of this divine standard. The accusers are exposed and shamed. And just like that, Zainab and her family get their honor back. So that story is a perfect illustration of how these verses work in the real world. Now, let's zoom in a little and break down the core principles that actually saved Zainab's community. Because this isn't just about some old story, it's a blueprint for building and maintaining social trust. The whole thing hinges on one single number: 4. Why 4? Why such a high standard? Well, the requirement for 4 direct, sober eyewitnesses to the act itself sets an unbelievably high bar. And that's intentional. The law is designed, first and foremost, to protect the innocent from false accusations. It makes casual, reputation-destroying slander practically impossible to get away with. Now, to really get why slander is punished so harshly, you have to understand the crime it alleges, zina, or adultery. In the Quranic worldview, this isn't just a private mistake between 2 people. No, it's seen as a major crime against the whole community because it threatens to unravel the family unit, which is seen as the absolute bedrock of a healthy society. And this table here just lays out the beautiful legal logic of it all. Just look at the punishments. 100 lashes for the act itself, if proven, and 80 lashes for falsely accusing someone. They're almost the same. That tells you everything you need to know about the value Islam places on a person's honor and good name. The message is crystal clear. Destroying someone's reputation with a lie is a crime that hurts everyone. And the guidance doesn't stop at punishment. The verses also look forward toward building a stronger society. Surah An-Nur teaches that the virtuous should seek to marry the virtuous. This idea of denk evlilikler, or compatible marriages, is all about building strong family units on a shared foundation of faith and character. It's a proactive strategy to create stable homes and from there, a stable community. But what about the guys who started the lie? Are they just villains, cast out forever? Not quite. The story has another chapter, and it's a powerful lesson on repentance, mercy, and the chance to make things right.
So one of the young men, a guy named Ismail, is just eaten up by his conscience. He can't live with the guilt. He goes to the Hosha, breaks down, and confesses everything. But the Hosha teaches him that real repentance, true forgiveness, is a process. It's not just about saying you're sorry. First, you confess. Then, you have to feel genuine remorse. And finally, and this is the most important part, you have to rectify your behavior. You have to change for good.
And right there, in the very next verse, is the hope. The Haka shares this with Ismail. It's this incredible opening for a second chance. It teaches that God's mercy is immense, but it's tied to our own sincere effort to change. And Ismail, he takes it to heart. He doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk, changes his ways, and over time, he earns back the community's trust, not with apologies, but with his actions. Okay, so this might all sound like a story from a world away, from a time long past, but I promise you, its lessons have never, ever been more relevant. Let's bring this ancient wisdom right into our hyper-connected digital world. The technology has changed for sure, but human nature, not so much. Back then, it was village gossip, what they called dildan dile, from tongue to tongue. Today, it's a viral post, a hateful meme that can reach millions in an instant. What they called character assassination, we call online shaming or doxing. What was public shunning is now just getting canceled. The tools are different, the speed is terrifying, but the devastating result is exactly the same. And this is why this principle is such a game changer today. That Quranic rule, demand proof before you condemn, it's the perfect defense against modern karalama haberleri, or smear campaigns. You can think of it as a mental firewall. It's a divine command to pause, to question, to demand real evidence before we join the digital mob and help destroy a person's life online. So when you put it all together, these first 5 verses of Surah An-Nur are just incredible. They give us a whole social framework. They establish God as the source of law. They protect the community's fabric. They promote strong families. They fiercely defend our individual dignity. And maybe most beautifully, they always, always leave the door open for forgiveness and hope. And so that brings us to the final question, one for all of us to think about. In our world, a world of screenshots and out-of-context clips where rumors become facts in the blink of an eye, how do we live by this wisdom? How do we personally commit to upholding the honor of others before we hit share, before we comment, before we join the chorus of judgment?